My name's Russ, and this morning I'm going to talk to you about label verification, but specifically in the context of food waste reduction. Quick background as to my business, Demaco. It's been around since '87. We, and by we I mean the Jenton Group, we bought it in 2016, and we've been supplying machinery since '73, so we're 52 years old, which we're very proud about. Demaco itself, though, are a leader in label code verification. Our main focus is on the food and drink industry, and we have systems that work offline, that work online on the production line, and we can verify trays, packs, bottles, pouches, whole burrs, just about anything. But why are we doing this? Well, the main reason is food waste reduction. So some scary numbers here. These numbers come from a charity called WRAP, the Waste Reduction Action Group. And this is data that they came up with. It's 2 or 3 years out of date now, but they calculate that 1.7 million tons of food is wasted annually before it gets to the consumer. So this isn't the stuff you buy when you're hungry and leave in the fridge because you've had a better offer. This is stuff you never even got to buy. And of that, you can see 31% of it is meat, fish and poultry. So it's very high cost and environmental cost to produce in the first place and then to destroy as well. It's absolutely crazy. The other thing about label verification is the protection of the brand. Now, a couple of quotes here. There's no such thing as bad news, basically, is what they're saying. And that's absolutely true. There's no such thing as bad publicity, unless, of course, your publicity is on the Food Standard Agency's website, in which case it's really bad news. And if you have a recall, that's where you'll end up. Here's some great examples. Here we have British carrots grown in Chernobyl. Fantastic. Those are good. That should never have got out the door. This one's probably less amusing, actually, but more serious. This is packaging in the non-food environment, and this was on the Mattel Barbie doll, which went along with the Wicked movie. And they were directing everybody, presumably young girls, to their website, so presumably for enhanced consumer engagement. The only trouble is the website they directed them to was a porn site, which again was suboptimal for a brand perspective. That really should have been checked before it left. Some more numbers. This is data from Rent-A-Kill. Rent-A-Kill primarily interested in catching rats, and as you can see, they say the number one cause for recalls is contamination, i.e. rats. But the second one's interesting, mislabeling. Now, Rent-A-Kill have no axe to grind at all with that, yet they are saying that that's probably the second reason for food recalls. So we've seen that mislabeling can damage your brand and it can cause recalls. We need to do something about this. This is just a little sideward step now. There's a new technology coming along to retail packaging called GS1 Digital Link, which is created by the barcode standard guys, GS1. And what you'll see is instead of the standard 1D barcode on your pack, there's going to be a 2D QR code. And this QR code is going to be amazing. If you go to the till and scan it, it'll work just like a 1D code, but it's embedded with a huge amount of information. And you can see the string in there. So the first bit of information will tell your mobile phone without any app on whatsoever and direct you to the Tesco's website about that product. If you're running the Tesco's app and you're in the store, it could tell you what else to buy with it. If you were at home, it could tell you how to cook it. But what it also contains is other information in there. My flipper works. It's got information about when the product was made, its use by date, its stock number. So then you can do things like dynamic pricing at the till. So if it's within 24 hours, you could knock 20% off, say, automatically. You can handle the stock control. So this type of technology should dramatically also help reduce food waste. And you can take that one step further, and this is a company called Zap Vision, who work with the Royal National Institute of the Blind, and they've developed an app for partially sighted and blind people, again coming off this QR code. So putting this QR code on there can put a huge amount of extra information and data in there. But, and isn't there always a but it's a really, really short step from having this fantastic information to getting it completely wrong and ended up on the Food Standard Agency's website. And then when you factor in that wonderful app for partially sighted people, you really, really have to be careful that whatever you put on the pack is right, is 100% checked, and is guaranteed to be correct. So what should happen now? Well, in a food factory, typically what happens is every time you start a new product or every half an hour, what you do is a physical label check. And you take a pack off the line and you fill in a chart like this and you sign it off, and then there's another page of it, and then you cut the label off and you stick it on a sheet, and then you file it for typically 5 years. But who knows when that chart was actually filled in? I mean, it's all signed, it's all the same signature. Was it done then? Was it done at the end of the shift and they just filled it in? Was it done half an hour before the audit? Who knows? Well, even if that is correct, that's only every half an hour. So what happens in between? Little video here. This is a stacker. Nothing to do with me, but it's for food automation, and it enables what should happen is the operator can take the stack off the line, put it in a box, and run much quicker. But watch the guy now. Watch this guy. He's taking the stack, he's unstacking it, and he's checking the label. Great piece of automation, that. But there's a bigger question, really. And the bigger question is, what data is he checking against? Where's the audit trail? Can he really do that at 100 packs a minute for 10 hours at 4 degrees C? Where's the continuous improvement data? What does he do if he finds something that's wrong? And actually, was he only doing it there because I was there with his boss and I had a camera? Who knows the answer to any of those? The problem is a layered problem, though. Historically, if I was here talking 2-3 years ago, this is what it's about. It's about the cost of a recall, and it's about the damage to the brand. Now it also involves ESG, environmental social governance. Huge, huge move in the food industry and across many industries to improve governance and reduce waste. And a subset of that is something called the CSRD, which is a mouthful in itself, the Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive. And that is a directive that says that all companies over a certain size have to publicly report their waste. And believe you me, that is a driver to reduce your waste. If you've got to put it on your website to say how much waste you've had this year, then you really and truly reduce your waste. So what have we been asked to do? Well, really, it's really simple what we've been asked to do, and that's check every label on every pack and check they're all right. Oh, well, that's easy then, we'll do that. But in more detail, we've actually been pushed for a different solution. OCR, and with the best will in the world, there's plenty of people in this room who are doing smart cameras with OCR algorithms. OCR, at the moment, the technology simply is not good enough to operate in a food factory environment where it is feasible that every single printed label is unique. Because it's unique because it's wrapped around an organic object which causes skew and bend and curvature in a different place at each time. And you really have to get the OCR right. We have developed our algorithms over 20 years to be able to do this. Can we read every label? No, but my God, we can have a good go at them. And the other thing we've been pushed for, and this is the number one thing, is the data. And it's all about the data. It's about the data against which you verify, and it's about the data you create during the verification process. And that data is mission critical to everything we do and everything our customers do and everything their customers do. It's all about the data. Very, very quickly, what we've been asked to verify is just about everything. If it's on a label, barcodes, sell-by dates, all the usual good stuff. A really interesting one, and the only one I'll talk about here, is the correct cooking time. There was some work done about 4 years ago in the meat industry as to why people weren't buying whole joints and whole birds. And the number one reason was because they didn't know how long to cook them for. So if you print the cooking time on the label, then you know how long to cook it for. If you're going to do that, you better make incredibly sure you're printing the right cooking time on the right label. If you print the wrong time on a piece of beef, well, one of two things are going to happen. It's going to be like cooked to within an inch of its life and taste horrible, or it's going to be lovely and rare and taste fantastic. If you do the same on a chicken or a leg of pork, you can put people in hospital. So you've got to get that right. It is mission critical. So a simple thing saying, oh, let's put the cooking time on the label, actually causes a huge amount of knock-on effect. Running out of time a little bit, I'm going to skip that side. So what we have created is a data-focused solution. The first thing we do, we're a machine builder, we're a verification company. You'd think it'd all be about cameras and stainless steel. It's not. What it's all about is the data. Repetition, repetition, data, data. First thing we do is put a SQL server on each and every site, and that SQL server connects to the primary sources of data against which we will verify. It's not an operator that's typing in to the verifier what to check against. It's not an operator who's going to tell the verifier to check they're printing Chernobyl on the British carrots. We're taking the data usually from something like SAP or from Innova or one of the other big databases. So we know what they're supposed to be making and we check that they are. We then put some machines on the line. At the moment, everything we do is visual, but in fact, only next week we have our first meeting about RFID on steak packs. And we can read any type of label. And that's the backbone of the system. So what happens is the line operator goes to his machine, takes a barcode scanner, scans the retail code, our machine talks to our server talks to their data sources, tells our machine what to verify, packs go through, and we verify them. Now there's two types of errors. There is the less catastrophic error, which is a random error. So you've got a badly print, or you're smudged, or you're missing a label, in which case we'll generally kick it off into a reject bin. But then you've got the serious errors, which are systematic errors. And those are errors where we read it perfectly, but it's fundamentally wrong. It's the wrong date, it's the wrong label, it's the wrong barcode, it's the wrong something, in which case we just stop the line, because you don't want any products going through. There's no point in rejecting every product. In addition, we have offline systems where QA and technical can log in, see what's happening. We have remote access so that our guys can log in, or a group level. And we can operate in quasi real time. So what can happen is the supermarket can implement a price change. And they often do this. Or more often, they do a promotion change. So, for example, it's the middle of summer, they're making burgers for 2 weeks hence, and the weather's looking awful, so they're going to run a 3 for 2 promotion because they contracted to make so many tons of burgers. So they instruct a promotion to happen. We will see that because we'll see the source data has changed, and we will ensure that that promo label is being put on the pack. So we can operate in quasi-real time. So as you can see, it's really and truly a data-driven solution. In the future, and we're already doing some of these actually, but in the future we'll be adding other end-of-line machinery in there, either working in partnership or developing our own. And coming to the end now, the question is, what's the missing bit? Just before we do that, let's just backtrack. Remember the slide? Hopefully you're paying attention. And we skipped over the red one. But the red one is critical. And in there, I've now underlined it. And environmental, social, governance reporting will require accurate, transferable data to be moved across multiple systems. So, if you're the manufacturer of an upstream machine, a downstream machine, if you're a PLC company, we all need to work together to be able to transfer data across different systems, sometimes safeguarding our own little bit that we're so proud of, but fundamentally, in order for this to work, we have to pass data around. So the final slide, and this is really a combination of a Lonely Hearts Club ad, I desperately want somebody to be with me, and a demand from the army, you will be with me. And it's a thing about partnering. And I truly believe that if we could partner together, the blockchain guys, end-of-line automation companies like me, people, the big guys like IBM Food Trust, the retailers, food processors, the technology providers, of which there's plenty in this room, the Quangos, the standard agencies, the likes of GS1, if we all partner together and we shared the data, then together we can create that eco-compliance system. And fundamentally, that's what the whole thing is about. It's about food waste reduction. Well, thank you for bearing with me. Any questions at all from the huge audience? No? But thank you, guys. Cheers.